you create new goals for yourself every year and you never achieve them? In this video, my business partner goes over smart goal setting and reverse engineering so you can actually finally achieve the goals you set for yourself. This is a clip out of one of our Automate Your Hustle Inner Circle masterminds where we help smart but overwhelmed entrepreneurs scale their lifestyle and businesses while working less by leveraging the use of automated systems. The first step to that process is setting realistic goals for yourself. This is extremely important for moms in general. We oftentimes put our dreams and our goals on the back burner to raise our kids. Let's start teaching our kids that they can reach their own goals and setting them by just being an example for them. Before we dive in, make sure to hit the like button if you find this information useful and subscribe. I'll be putting out content for you every single Wednesday. If you are looking for more accountability and a better way to become a CEO in your home based business, join our inner circle. Link is in the comments below. We'll also have free resources listed below as well for you.
Reverse engineering your goals, because there's so much we want out of life, and sometimes we don't really know how to say it, and we don't know how to quantify it, and we don't know how to get there. So I found that when I was working in, the whole corporate America, especially working in engineering, usually we would always define a problem and then we would work backwards on how to actually get there, or it was a goal that we were trying to get to, and then we would work backwards on how we get there. We would think about all the moving pieces, and that way the goal is out there in your mind in the future, and you always know what that goal is. It's not a moving target, and it's very tangible. It's something that you can say, when I hit this goal, I know when I hit it, because maybe it's a certain income level, or maybe it's a certain time period. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. And with reverse engineering your goals, like I said, basically all that means is just establish your goals starting from where you actually want to end up and whatever that end goal is. And then you work backwards to figure out each of the steps between where you are now and where you want to be. And it's quite simple to set yourself up a goal. But achieving that goal, as you all know, is a whole nother story. I mean, because New Year's is a primary example. Everybody has New Year's resolutions, and the stats say that 92% of people by the 15th, not even a whole month, don't even reach their goals. So with goals, it's one of those things that it has to be the right type of goal. And you want to make sure that your goal has a very specific outcome, like how many sales you want to make on a monthly basis. Don't say I want to make money online. That's a goal to kind of set yourself up for success. I mean, to set yourself up for failure, because you're not really knowing what benchmark you're trying to hit to even say that you had success or not. You're always chasing something. But if you say I want to make $1,000, my first $1,000 month, that's a very specific goal that you can work towards trying to hit that goal. So, and then, whatever that goal is that you have, whatever that big goal is, then we take it and we break it down into smaller pieces that are more achievable for us to hit, and they feels more attainable. So let me give you an example, because like I say, I know it can sound complicated, but it's pretty simple, and we can break it down into really like 5 steps, and you'll be able to use these 5 steps for any type of goal planning going forward. So let's say your goal is to make $100,000 this year within the next, 365 days or so, selling affiliate products. That may or may not be your goal, but for this example, that's the numbers that we're going to work with here. And for somebody who's never made money online, who's just starting out, that can be very daunting. That's a huge number. Some people obviously don't even make that much money in their day jobs, let alone to go out and, create it in a whole different industry. So when you look at that number, it can be daunting. But then when you start to reverse engineer it, it looks a little bit differently. Because when you think about it, $1,000 a year broken down, that's about $88,000 a month, which breaks down to about $1,900 a week. And then it breaks down to about just $273 a day. So you might not be in a position to make $100,000 right now, but you can probably find ways online to start gradually making yourself up to $100, then $200, and then hitting to this maybe $700 range, so you can start hitting to that particular goal that you're trying to go to. That number is not that scary. Now let's do some actual modeling here. let's say if you sell a product, that's priced at $20, that means when you break that down over the course of 365 days, that means you need to sell 13 products a day. So now it doesn't feel as daunting. Like I got to go out and make $100,000. You just need to break it down into a system to where you can start selling up to 13 products a day. And that's going to get you on the steps to start hitting that goal. Because 13 is way more doable to look at than looking at $100,000 as a goal. It's like, okay, how do I get my product or service better? How do I get in front of more people to where I can start hitting at least 13 on a consistent basis? And that's a pathway to start hitting that goal. And now let's do some more modeling. Think about it. That's a product that's priced at $20. What if you found a product where you made $25 commissions? Well, now that 13 sales per day only goes down to $10 per day. And then that's you on the pathway to making $100,000 a year. That's when you're talking low ticket products, especially for if you're in affiliate or network marketing, there are opportunities out there that you can make upwards of $500 to $1,000 per sale. So once you start thinking about that rate, you might not only need you don't even need that many clients or services or products being sold. If you're selling something that's $500 or $1,000 commissions, you're going to hit that income goal a lot faster. So now that you know exactly what you kind of have to do to make $100,000 when you kind of reverse engineer it, and I'm also going to show you a cool little calculator at the end where you can kind of put in numbers based on what your product is sold at and what your goals are, and it'll break it down on how many sales you would actually need to make on a daily basis, just to kind of give yourself a visual. And now we have more of a solid plan to hit those 10 daily sales. And we did is reframe the goal and reverse engineered it. We said, we're not trying to go out the gate, hit $100,000 on the first day. We got to break it downwards to see that we need to, if our product is, at this price point, we need to start selling this many per day to get there. And you can apply this to any goal at all in your life once you break it down into these steps here. And the first step is really, before you even start making goals, understand that your goals need to be what they call SMART goals. And SMART is an acronym that they use in project management and planning, things of that nature. But to really pick a good goal, you want to use the SMART framework. And SMART stands for specific, meaning that your goal is very specific, meaning that it's measurable, meaning that it's achievable, meaning that it's relevant, and meaning that it's time bound, that is within a particular time frame. And studies show that specific goals are achieved much more often than generic goals. So that's why you want to be specific as possible. You don't want to say you want to lose weight. You want to say, my goal is to lose 60 pounds in maybe over the course of 365 days, or maybe my goal is to lose 20 pounds in 90 days. It's very specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, and it's time bound. So it's not a goal that you can't just easily reach or know when you reach. You know what I mean? So in other words, make sense. You want to make sure your goals are realistic too. You don't want to set a goal of making $5 million in 6 months if you're currently living off of $40,000 a year without really a way to break down how you could actually reverse engineer getting to such a attainable goal. And being relevant just refers to your goal of actually helping with your end game. If you want to be financially free, you don't want to pick goals that take on more debt. So you don't want to be going out and getting like all kind of loans and stuff if your goal is to get more financially free, because you're kind of like putting yourself back in the same situation. And then, like I said, time bound basically means that you set a date for yourself. So you might say, like, in 18 months, I want to have all my debt paid off, versus saying I want to be financially free. Because if you say you want to be financially free, how do you know when you reach that goal if it's not, as I said before, if it's not specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and then time bound? So that's why we want to make sure any of the goals that we make going forward are SMART. So if you want to get more people, get more leads into your business, you got to start reverse engineering the plan on, how we actually get to those particular steps. It goes out like, we got to have a product to sell. We got to go out and, we got to build some systems, follow-up systems for our business. We got to go out and get some traffic to our business. And then once we have those things in place, now we can start reaching the goals of selling, 10 of our product, 15 of our product on a daily basis once we start breaking things down to like individual parts. So with the goal setting, as I mentioned, it comes down to like a 5-step process that you can, kind of implement into your life and to your business. And step one would be just knowing exactly what you want. You want to be crystal clear on exactly what your goal is. It's no good to run around saying that I want to make money online. That's a really crappy goal because that's easy to do, honestly. It's really easy for me to show you how to make money online. That is not a goal that I want to show you how to do because it's very easy for me to do it. And then once I show you how to do it, like here, I can show you how to sell something small for like a $7 product. Okay, you've made money now. But I'm sure that's not exactly what you had in mind. You want to make more than $7. You will probably want to make maybe your first $1,000 in 30 days. So then that's a better goal to focus on than saying I just want to make money online. So step one is just kind of being crystal clear on exactly what your goal is. And it doesn't have to all be, don't even think about it all as from the marketing standpoint. Take it into your personal life as well. Maybe you want to get in better shape, but now instead of saying I want to get in better shape, let's reframe that as a smart goal to say, maybe I want to lose 2% of body fat in the next 3 months. And that's a more of a specific type of goal that you can work for. So take these types of ideas that we have and don't think about it, like I said, just from marketing and making money, but just for also for your personal life as well, and being able to set goals in your personal life and go out and crush them just the same. And like I said, get specific. What exactly is your goal and when do you want it by? What's your time frame? How will you know when you achieved it? Start thinking about that, start writing it down. And it may change the more you think about it, but definitely start the exercise of writing it down and putting some time frames on things. Because if you don't do that, then you never have a way to know if you need to measure yourself to improve or if you're on the right track or wrong track. So like I said, and a good example of this is saying I want to make my first $1,000 online within a month time span, or I want to create an additional $1 million in revenue for my business in 12 months. Very total ends of the spectrum as far as how much this money person can make, but they're very goals that are time bound and they're very specific. And each person can go out there with their own individual plan and feel pretty good about hitting it because they now know what they're actually targeting and trying to achieve. Step two would be knowing exactly where you are now. You know, where are you? At this point, we would say, let's say we're starting at ground zero. We're at starting line. But no matter what your goal is, you already have some skills that you bring to the table. You're never starting completely from scratch. So I always tell people to take assessment of themselves, kind of know what their strengths are and their weaknesses are. And then the things that you're good at, great. The things that you're not good at, don't feel like that's going to stop you from moving ahead. That's why, people like myself, people like you, we buy products, we join stuff like mastermind so we can learn from other people so we can get the help that we need to move forward in life. But it starts by knowing exactly where you are now and being able to take inventory of the things that you may need help with. Because really your whole life, no matter your age level, has been building up to this point. You want to do something differently. And so you basically have all your skills levels that you have up to this point and being able to use them to your benefit. And then, like I said, where you need help, ask for it. Step three is reverse engineering that goal. So now that we kind of know what the goal is, we kind of know a little bit about ourselves, our inventory, and where we may need help. Now it's time to start putting a plan in action to reverse engineer it. And how you do this is going to be really unique, maybe to different types of goals, but they all follow the same idea. Like I said, take the end point of your goal, your finish line, and then work backwards and figure out how you get there. So if we look at our first example of making $100,000 a year through affiliate sales, it's just a matter of breaking those numbers down into bite-sized pieces and then formulating a plan to achieve those consistently. And then step four is once you have the steps you need to figure out, then you need to, decide what you're actually going to do about it. Because it's all good and well to say, I'm going to email my list, once per day and get some more eyeballs on my product. But if you don't take the time to put that plan into action, it's never going to happen. So this is why I go in to say, you'll be going to bed at the end of the day and saying like, whoops, I didn't get, time for that today. I'm tired. I'll get to it in the morning. And then you know what? Tomorrow morning is going to come. You're going to forget about it. You're probably going to think about it about noon. You're going to be eating lunch. You're going to say, you know what? I'll do it this evening when I get home from work. And then you're going to be tired again after you eat dinner. And then it's like a cycle that will continue to happen. And until you say, you know what? I'm just going to get up an extra hour a day, every single day. If I go to work from 8 to 5, I'm going to get up at 7. And between 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, 100%, I'm going to make sure I email my list every single day as soon as I wake up or after I do, brush my teeth and obviously do all that other kind of stuff. But that's something that you're going to do within that time slot every single day. And now you're building that consistency, because if you're going to get to the point, even like Patricia said, where you're selling like 3.8 products per week, then you have to have some consistency in the people that you're trying to reach. So if you're building a huge list of people, say for instance, we have a huge list and we're promoting products and services to them. If you email them one day and then you don't email them again to 2 weeks later, how can you ever hit those consistent sales per day if you're not emailing them every single day? Because they didn't all buy. So if you're not emailing them, then you're not going to reach your goal of hitting those particular amount of sales that you need per day. So that if that in itself should hopefully make you think that that's one reason why I need to be emailing at least hopefully maybe once a day. Because if you're gonna, it's like the law of momentum. If you don't have the momentum of sending these emails out every single day, you're not going to have the momentum of the sales building up every day. So you're basically having a dead email list that you can't do anything with. So that is an example I just wanted to drill in a lot, because us as business owners, the primary purpose that I say is that we should be all building our email list. So that's why I wanted to use that as an example to make sure you continue to nurture that list so you can start making those consistent sales to hit your goal. And then, like I said, we're still on step 4, but this is kind of just edging on with that last point that, the phrase tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, has never helped anyone change their life. Like I said, it's just more so kicking the can down the road. So just try not to say it as much as possible. Either find a slot in the day that you can commit to that works for you, or like I said, just never say the phrase. I think that's pretty much the only option. Let's just find a day and a slot in a day that you can probably commit to and just start from there and see how it goes. And then step 5, stay the course. That's pretty much what I was just saying there. Just stay the course. Once you have your plan and know what you need to do, the only thing left to do is do it. If we help, you build out like something like, an awesome quiz for your business, the only thing we need to do from that standpoint is continually get people into it daily, and then continue to make sure we email them daily. And then as time goes on, the law of momentum is just gonna kick in, but the momentum never starts if it doesn't have that continuous inertia pushing it forward. If you stop start, they always say that's the best way to ruin your brakes. That's the best way to ruin your business as well. Stop start, don't do it. So it sounds super simple, but this is the best part and where most people slip up. You're going to definitely have to commit to your actions daily. This is your goal, and this is your business, and this is your livelihood, so nobody else is going to do the work for you. We can put systems in place to make our life easier, obviously, but no one is going to actually do the work for you to help you formulate what it takes to make a good system for your business. And if you're here and reading this, I believe you definitely fully have what it takes. None of us would have made it this far in life if we didn't have what it takes, and anything can be learned. Some things are harder to unlearn than others, but anything new can be learned if you want it. And once you learn these simple things here, as far as setting these goals, hopefully it'll just benefit you so much more going in the future, because now you're kind of creating goals that you feel good about. And then when you hit them, you hit them, and then you can celebrate them, because that's one of the worst things about entrepreneurship is that if we don't really have goals set, we're always in this chug of trying to feel good about what we're doing because we're not celebrating wins. And you can't celebrate small wins if you never really set up a big goal and then broken it down into smaller milestones. So for like me and Teresa, our goal would be, to have a $1 million a year in revenue. But our smaller goals would be, you got to start with your first sale. Let's celebrate that. Then you got to start with your first month, first $1,000 month. Then you got to go from there. And then let's celebrate those wins along the way. So now let's get ready to change your life. This is stuff that action, unless, any type of knowledge, unless implemented, is worthless. So definitely take the knowledge and find ways that you can, start implementing it into your business.